Hello, my name is Charles Boulton and I've been associated with running the first workshop for the Research Bridgehead. This first workshop has brought together a wide diversity of people, researchers, practitioners, to talk about what are the research needs to deliver Digital Built Britain, and to talk a little bit about the sorts of demonstrators and case studies that might also help to illustrate the art of the possible and show what we can deliver today and in the next few years. I think one thing that's worth saying about the workshop has been the amount of energy and effort that's gone into it from all the people involved, and the breadth of subjects we covered. We'd always expected to cover a wide range of subjects, everything from fine detailed data management up to big issues of policy. But what we found is that the detail and the depth that people have gone into has augmented that scope. So that's been really, really good. There's been a lot of interaction between different groups of people in this. So for example, there's been interaction between people with a research interest and those with an interest in practice. And a lot of interaction across the question of what could be demonstrated, what could be a case study, and what would that teach us about the research that we need to do. And that conversation's taken place here, and I think that's part of a continuing conversation. The other area where there's interaction still to be managed and followed up, those are the areas of the interaction between the networks and the topic groups, because the networks will be taking the work forward over the next 6 to 8 months. One of the other things that's been very interesting and has come out from this workshop session has been the great significance of the social aspects, the social role, the social perspective on this. And one of the things we'll be doing as part of the developing the framework, we'll be playing much more of that social agenda into all elements of the framework. I think that's very important and has come out. Another thing to remember is that this has only been the first step of a 6-month process. From here, the research networks will assemble, and the work of the research networks will then be integrated into the research agenda, the research landscape, and the question of where do we take Digital Built Britain. The workshop which we've just run has been run in the context of a framework, and you can see the video that describes that framework. But what's become clear is that that framework is well worth exploring, investigating and refining. So I think over the next few months we'll do more work with a wider group of people to look at different ways of viewing this, different ways of cutting the cake, and we'll take those different views and different approach into account as we glue together the work of the research networks.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Schooling and I am the Director of the Research Bridgehead at the Centre for Digital Built Britain. I'm delighted to be able to announce that we have launched our call for networks to help us articulate the research agenda for Digital Built Britain. The role of these networks is really to do 3 things: to understand what research needs to be done, so articulate the research agenda; to explore the research landscape, so what research is already being done in this area and who's doing it, and therefore what capacity and capabilities do we have to leap off from; and finally to create the collaborative community of researchers that will help to deliver this research agenda in the future. We're very keen that networks include not just researchers but also practitioners and policymakers. The networks will need to be led by an academic principal investigator, but we would encourage you to reach out beyond your current networks and draw in people that you don't know already. In order to get involved, if you weren't able to attend the workshops that we held in April, then please do get in touch with the Centre for Digital Built Britain, CDBB, either by going to the CDBB website and looking at the Research Bridgehead page and then filling in the expression of interest, or by emailing research@cdbb.cam.ac.uk, and we'll be able to put you in touch with the networks that are forming. The deadlines for this work are quite tight. The bid deadline is the 18th of May 2018. However, if you aren't able to engage in a network before that, please don't worry, because there will be opportunities to engage in the networks as they proceed. And in fact, we're encouraging the networks to look at how they bring new stakeholders in to their work as they proceed. We will be advising the networks of their success on the 8th of June 2018, and thereafter we hope that you will launch into a set of frenetic activity to deliver on the ambitious work programme that we're asking you to produce. And we'll be asking for an interim report in October to highlight for us the areas that you're uncovering in terms of the research agenda, and also the work that you've done in scoping the research landscape. And then finally, the final report will be expected on the 20th of December, so that we can then start to collate all of those inputs and have them ready to share back with you and the wider research community in spring of 2019. We are anticipating that bids for proposals will be asking for up to £50,000 worth of funding. We aren't being too prescriptive about how you spend this, but there are some expectations set out in the call for proposals, which is on our website. If you have any questions that aren't answered in the call for proposals, then please contact us via research@cdbb.cam.ac.uk and we'll be able to answer your questions.